It's incredible surfing from the Japanese surfer.
Yeah. Ooh. So, ohayo gozaimasu. And a big shout out to all of our friends watching in Japan. So stoked with how surfing is going gangbusters in Japan. Here's a split peak scenario. Jay
Just
Okalupa.
A little bubble from the surfer in green. And
yeah,
again.
Jay got kind of caught on that one. So we're going to see a priority change here. And here's the replay.
Yes, so surfer in red is just carving that one, jumps up on the foam of that one, and managed to get a bit of a fin release and a 360 and rides out of that one. So I'm pretty interested to see what the judges will give that score. I know that in a couple of heats before this one, Samson Coulter was doing a couple of pretty nice air reverses, and he was getting some good scores for those ones. So be interesting to see what Toi Tanaka gets for this last one.
Okay, 3:30 on the clock. Gerd just taking a little wave there, losing the priority. I think, in his heart of hearts, he's out there with the singlet on, but he's like, you know what? It's pretty tough competing against these kids in these sort of conditions, you know. So, but here he is up and riding Bradley Gerlach. One of the funniest guys that I've ever met in my life, and one of the greatest storytellers of all time. You want to go around and have a beer with that guy one day and just get him to start telling stories. Oh my goodness, so entertaining. He really is.
I reckon you'd have a few stories of your own.
I've got a few stories for sure, yeah. And he and I, that's why he used to come over back in the day, like in the 90s. I used to pick Brad up from the airport when he used to come to Australia to surf in all the contests, and he'd come and stay with me at my house in Port Stephens, up in Newcastle.
Yeah.
And then I used to hang with him, and we'd go to all the contests together. We did that like 2 or 3 years in a row. Me, Brad, and a guy called Tony Ray a big wave rider from down in Victoria. So we all used to travel together. So yeah, I'm so stoked to see Guy. I saw him a couple of years ago. He came and caught up with me in Newcastle, but haven't seen him surf in a WSL event for a long time. This is super cool stuff. So he's got his back against the wall. He's needing a big score. I don't think it's going to, who knows? He's got the skill to get the 705.
Just whether he gets the wave or not.
This is Toi Tanaka, who's gone to third. And there's the priority for Jay Brown. Jay's going to just... That's more of a defensive move to keep him off the wave.
Yes, yeah, indeed. So Jay needs a 5.65 to jump up into second. So it's going to be close. We've got just over 2 minutes left in this one. So Jay Okalupo is sitting out there with priority. Wow.
You can see they haven't awarded Ger the priority yet because he hasn't got to the takeoff point in the lineup. You'll see the number come up on the screen there once the priority judge, determines that he has reached the point of takeoff. A lot of the times the surfers just get to a point where they think the wave's breaking and think, I've probably just got priority. There he goes. Ger's gone in third priority.
Yeah.
So with 1 minute 30 seconds left on the clock, it is the Japanese rider, Toi Tanaka and Jay Okalupo. At the moment, looking pretty good.
Before we did see Jay Okalupo paddling up the beach, I believe that the competitor in third actually went down the beach. So that's a bit of a tactical move for Jay Okalupo to go and sit on the surfer in third, Jay Brown, to try and stop him from getting the waves.
And have a look at Jay. Jay has almost got himself straight into a dream runner.
Wow, look at this one for Jay Brown. It might be a bit of a steeper one for him. He floats that first section, comes around and hits the second one. And he's going to try and take it all the way through, but unfortunately that wave doesn't give him the opportunity for that one. We've got just under 1 minute remaining.
Okay, Jay was chasing a 5.65. Do you think he got there?
Unfortunately,
I don't think so either. I mean, it looked like it was going to be potentially pretty good, but the end of that thing just ran out of petrol.
Yeah, I got excited. I thought that wave was going to run.
Yeah, I know, because when you just say, "Oh, I'm going to go up there just in case," and you go up there and go, "Oh my God, there's one coming."
You get so excited.
Yeah, and there's Jay. Jay's going like, "You know what? I better do my job as the second place getter in this heat. You go and sit on third. That's what you do."
Yeah.
So, priority at the moment is with green, second priority red, priority 3 is with white. We've got just on 20 seconds to go, so it's only a cameo appearance, but it was a good one. As I said, Brad Gerlach is one of my all-time best mates and heroes, so I'm stoked to be able to just commentate him and see him in a rush. I hope he goes to all the other events as well. That'd be cool. Wouldn't it ever?
Yeah, I'd love to see him surf in bigger waves than what this is, and waves that allow him to.
I'm going to get you to go home and Google Brad Gerlach tonight and just come back tomorrow. We're going to talk about it on there.
Yeah,
and you can say, I watched the clip with him doing this and that. He's got one of the most beautiful styles you've ever seen. That's the end of that heat, ladies and gentlemen. So heat number 12, round number 2, looks like it has wrapped up. Toi Tanaka and Jay Okalupo. We'll move on through, unfortunately, for Jay Brown and Brad Gerlach. That's the end of the road here at the Carve Pro. We're going to throw to a commercial break. Stick with us, folks. We'll be back with more live action from Maroubra right after this.
Yeah, y'all. Yeah, y'all, yeah, y'all.
We always end up in the same place. I keep on hurtling through the same space. I know I do. Getting a gutter, propping up some conversation. Shake 'em all out.
Is your home running out of space? Call Storage King. Whether you're moving house, renovating, downsizing, or relocating the hubby's man cave, Storage King has the answer. We also have a crack team of storage professionals who can organise it all for you, making Storage King the kings of storage, moving and more. Store before the 15th of Feb and get 1 month storage free. So visit storageking.com.au and let Storage King give you back some space.
Okay, welcome back, folks. Day number 2 of the Carve Pro QS 1000 on the World Surf League. Tas McKenna, True Starling holding it down for this heat anyway, folks. It's round 2, heat number 13 in progress. And True, who have we got in the water?
Yeah, so in the red we've got Zach McMahon, in the blue is Joel Vaughan, in the white we've got Coda Killon, and the green is Alistair Reginato. So an all-Australian affair out there for this heat. This is a cracker.
It is a cracker.
Heat.
And you know what's funny is these guys are all in the same age bracket, and they all surfed against each other in the Pro Junior Series coming through onto the QS. So this is a familiar kind of a lineup here, and these guys have got some scores to settle as well. We've got some, looks like we've got some waves that have been locked in already, and take us through this one.
Yeah, so this is a surfer in red, Zach McMahon, just trying to make his way through this one. Looks like he's going to try and pump through that and get a quick backhand slash on that one and just pulls off that one. And here he goes again on another one, taking this right, and he's going to try and pump his way all the way through. Unfortunately, doesn't get a section on that one. And green, Alistair Reginato, he's going to take this one all the way through. A really nice hit off that one. And again, that is a great opening wave for Alistair.
Yeah, and have a look at 6.5, so they didn't muck around. Now, there's a nice combination of major manoeuvres, and the speed and power that these guys can muster up in these little pint-sized peaks here at Maroubra is very impressive. So, in small waves, the one thing that it really highlights through is your technique.
Yes, indeed.
So, you know, the thing is you have a look at people that come from places where there's pretty small waves. I mean, you come from Manly, don't you?
Narrabeen.
Narrabeen, okay. No, you got good surf where you come from. I'm thinking, okay, Samson Coulter was in the previous heat. He's coming from Manly. He was ripping in the small stuff.
He was surfing really
Kelly
good.
Slater from Cocoa Beach, Florida. It goes without saying.
Yeah.
But I've found over the years that people that grow up at a beach where the waves are really weak they've got great techniques.
Yeah. Well, you got to when you're surfing small waves. It's got to be.
You've got to muster up your own power.
Yeah, you got to have that really low bottom turn because then you'll have more power off the top and.
Yeah.
You know,
and
then
just
you'll get better scores.
Pumping the legs, where your board is in respect to the wave. You know, in little waves, I always try and ride up on the top third of the wave.
Get
that
that speed.
Exactly. And then when you're going to do a manoeuvre, then you drop down to your bottom turn and you can, you've got some extra. You're using gravity to your advantage.
Yeah.
So it's all about positioning on the small stuff, staying high, trying to skate across it, and then drop down into the majors. So Alistair Reginato, great opening wave, 6.5. Zach McMahon, a couple of throwaway scores, a 1.5 and a 0.75. He got Joel Vaughan. Joel's been in incredible form in the last 1 or 2 years, hasn't he?
He has been. We were both recently just at the Newcastle 5,000 trials, and he actually won that one, which was really cool.
That's right. How did you go?
I won it as well. Which
Oh,
is
good
cool.
on you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
Was that at Berrubi?
Yeah, down at Berrubi.
Oh, well done. Awesome
Yeah.
stuff. Okay, did you guys get waves?
It was a little bit bigger than what it is today down
Right.
at Maroubra, but it was
Okay.
fun. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, there was waves.
It's always fun at Berrubi. There's always swell there.
Yeah.
That's up in Port Stephens.
It's a great event down at Berrubi.
Yeah, just north of Newcastle. So, well, we're down to 19 and a half to go. It's heat number 13. Only 2 more heats remaining here today. So we're going through to heat
Yes.
number 15. So stick with us, folks. My concept of talking to people on Facebook has gone completely out the window. Look, I'm on SOS. I've got no signal where I forgot we're in the webcast truck.
Yeah, I think I've got one bar, so let me have a look.
Let's see if we can go to Surfing New South Wales Facebook page and see if anybody has made the effort to leave a little message for us, and we'll try and interact with you people online. Surfing NSW on Facebook. Top post. Jump in there and say g'day to Tez McKenna and True Starling. So 19 minutes left on the clock. Alistair in the lead. Zach in second. We've got Jolie and Coda just waiting to open up their accounts here at Maroubra Beach, which is one of the hotbeds of talent. There's been so many great surfers coming out of Maroubra over the years, including the two-time pipeline master, Larry Blair, who's a bit of a legend around these parts. We had guys like Marty Lee and Steve Wilson, who used to be in the top 16 back in the old days. Glenn Johnson, and a whole stack of others. Tony White. There was too many people to try and name who came onto the pro surf scene out of Maroubra back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. This place was really, along with North Narrabeen, we used to have, we always had really, because both clubs are over 50 years old, they're both like really heritage clubs.
Yeah.
And Maroubra and North Narrabeen, your club, used to have some really good rivalries going right back into the 70s and 80s, you know? So
Yeah.
pretty cool history.
Awesome history. It's,
You guys did a book, didn't you, for the 50th of the North Narrabeen?
Yeah, we did do a book, and it's, I work at the Ripcon, Damien Hardman's
Oh,
Ripcon
okay,
Narrabeen shop.
sure.
We've still got the book in there, so
Yeah.
it's actually really, like, sometimes I'll have a little flick through if I'm
Yes.
not working, if I just pop in to
Well,
look
it's
at some
important to
clothes.
know the history of your club and
Yeah.
the people that came through it.
It's
And
pretty incredible.
yeah, you guys like Maroubra and also like Merriweather, which is the club I'm a part of now. Got such a great rich history. Here we go with Jolie Vaughan spanking it up there for a couple of big
Wow.
frontside hits, and wow, that kid's in good form.
He is in great form. That was a really good first ride for the surfer in blue and white behind him.
Yeah, that's Coda Keelhorn on the backhand this time. Coda just giving that one a couple of nice little backhand zaps, and his foot just slipped off the grip. Unfortunately, just coming unstuck on that last manoeuvre. So 17 minutes left on the clock. 2 more heats remaining here today. It's effectively like a little webcast test. We just jumped into the truck to say, make sure everything's working for tomorrow.
Yes, yeah. And here's Joel up and riding on his first wave. He banked it 2 times, and before that he did a pretty nice carve back to the power source, and Coda up behind him. Nice first turn, and he's going to try and get it all the way through to the inside. But unfortunately, just on this last one, his foot slipped.
Yeah.
And he might need to get a little bit more wax on that board.
yeah. Jack McCullough was on the grip. It was like we used to call that a gorilla slip. Instead of the gorilla grip, because it was
Too
so
good.
slippery back in the day. But, God love them. That was a pretty good product back in the old days. Here we go here in the blue singlet. Jolie Vaughan looking for another one. And Joel goes for the big reverse. Oh, my goodness. That could have been spectacular
that
if he
would
made
be
that.
amazing. That's very unlike Joel. He's kind of nails them all the time.
I
but
know, that was awesome.
Yeah, he got a 5.5 on his first wave though, so good start for Joel, and a 1.5 just on that last one.
Yeah,
So-
I wouldn't mind getting a little replay. That was a nice little, that was a mad little whack one. Here we go. This is Alistair Reginato. Clean green face for Alistair, and he has been on an absolute tear of late. And again, drawing that nice high line. Then he drives it through the inside for a
Wow.
lovely little carve. And he steps off onto the sand, and right behind him is Zach McMahon.
Yeah, Zach McMahon, surfer in red. He's going to link this one all the way through. It looks like it might even stand up for him. That's a bit of a rare occasion for the waves today. And he jumps up into the air, but unfortunately he can't pull that one through either. So both red and blue not sticking those airs that they've pulled through, but we've still got plenty of time left in this one. As
Well,
you
here's
see-
the replay of
Yeah.
Jolie's one. Big tail high reverse. Just couldn't quite ride out of it, but a beautiful technique. Of
Great
course, right behind him was, this is...
Zach McMahon.
Yeah,
yes.
Zach, and I love the way Zach surfs. He's just so loose. Unfortunately, a little late for that attempted air at the end there, so he wasn't going to ride out of it.
This wave.
And Alistair Reginato, this guy knows how to use a rail,
yeah,
doesn't he?
this is the one. This last turn, Oh, I'm so ready for this. Wow. He surfed that wave so well.
Yeah, he's been really, really starting to develop into a super talent.
Yeah.
Alistair Reginati, he was always a red hot junior, but like these guys here, Joel and Alistair and Coda and Zach, these are four of the really upcoming young riders here in Australia.
Yeah.
This is a QS 1000, so we don't have a lot of international competitors. I mean, we do have some Japanese riders here. There was a couple of Americans.
Indonesian.
Yeah, Indonesians.
Someone from Canada.
That's right, a Canadian.
And a Brazilian as well.
That's right as well. So it's nice to see a few of the international competitors going, you know what, I'm going to come to Australia and I'm going to try and get my campaign off to a nice early start.
Yes.
Realising that we've got, the New South Wales Pro Surf Series along with all the other contests that are here over the next couple of months.
Yeah, I think these 1000s are also a bit of a good practice run for, the Evoca 3000 we've got coming up, the 5000 in Newcastle,
That's
the
right.
Surf Fest and the Doyle Partners Pro. And
That's right.
then we've got the Sydney Surf Pro in Manly, the 10,000 coming up, which is super exciting.
Yeah, that's unreal. Well, you must be so excited because it's a big year on the WQS for yourself.
Massive year, yeah. And I'm so lucky that we've got all of these big events in Australia, and they're pretty much right near where I live, which is awesome as
Isn't
well.
that great? And have you been really putting in some hard yards over the, over the holiday break? I mean, have you been working hard?
Yes, I've been working pretty hard.
And do you work with a coach?
Yep, so I work with a surf coach, Matty Cattle.
Oh, okay, Matt's a legend.
Yeah,
he's so good.
Yeah, he's
and
a legend.
I love Matty Cattle's coaching style. I've been near him when he's been speaking to people, and I like the calm and positive kind of style that he's got to coach. And some people come in and go, oh, you blew it, or something like that. But Matt's like really... he uses all his experience and his cool personality to pass on all that info. He's very good. He's one of my favourite surf coaches for sure.
He's incredible. He's actually just over in Hawaii at the moment with Geordie Lawler as
well.
well.
He might even be watching on. So, hey, Matty, how you doing? You're doing a great job with True. Keep it up, buddy. Okay, Alistair Reginata is in the lead with a 6.5 and a 5.6. That's going to be a throwaway score.
Yes.
They gave Jolie a 5.5, and then he got a 1.5 on his low score. Here goes Joel on this one here.
Yeah, it looks like he's up and riding, so he's going to hit that first section that he's got there, and he's going to try and race through this one and banks a second turn pretty nicely. So that will be a good second score for Jolie Vaughan. Looking forward to what they give that one as well. So we got 12.5 minutes left in this one.
2 more heats remaining here today, folks. Day number 2 of the Carve Pro. Carve, of course, is an Australian-based company. They've also got an amazing range of new blue light lens technology that shields your eyes from the modern world. They're real stylish glasses, and they're made to reduce eye strain, all that harmful blue light exposure that you get from computers, TVs, and mobile devices. It's a real problem, because I've got grandkids now.
Wow.
But I have a friend that I live with. He's got 2 young kids. One's in kindergarten, the other one's in like 2nd or 3rd class. Anyway, they're on the phone and that all the time. They come home, they're on their little iPad and that stuff like that. And I say to him, mate, we've got to watch out for this stuff because can't like let them look at the screens too long.
Yeah.
They're only just finding out now like the damage that this does looking at artificial light, and it's the blue light from those screens that they think does more damage than what the UV does.
Wow.
Yes, so that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, that is.
So these glasses that the guys at Carve have designed will protect you from that blue light. You've got to go and check them out. You can see them online at carve.com.au. So make sure you check it out. And we thank the guys at Carve for their support.
Yes, they've been incredible.
Haven't they ever? I think this is about like the 5th or maybe 6th year of the competition here at Maroubra on the World Tour. Maybe the 5th year, I think it is. But it's been a huge investment. Carve started off as it's just pretty much a concept from Matt, who's the owner of Carve, was actually a carpenter. So he was on the tools one day, and him and his mates used to break the cheap sunnies all the time. Because back in the day, you could either get cheap sunnies from the servo, or you could pay $150 for good ones. But there was nothing in between. And he said, hey boys, I'm going to start up a sunglass company that's going to make good quality polarized lenses at an affordable price. And they all sort of laughed at him. And then here we are 10 years later, and I mean, Carve is like in, about 30 countries worldwide.
Yeah, he's killing it.
He is. He's absolutely killing it. As is this guy, Jolie Vaughan, throws it up for a lovely reverse on the end section. So Joel just, this time landing that reverse, that's going to be a lot better for him. Coming down to 10.5 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, that last wave for the surfer in blue was a 3.85. So he's solidified his second position. We've got, 10 minutes remaining in this one. Plenty of time to go. Couple of waves coming through, hopefully.
We'd also like to thank Destination New South Wales. Of course, they're part of the government here in New South Wales that looks after putting heads on beds. It's a tourist kind of part of the government, tourist division of the New South Wales government, and Destination New South Wales wants to welcome everyone here to Maroubra Beach for the 2020 Carve Pro. Pretty nice that it's Carve is a sunglass company and the year is 2020, like 2020 vision. You know, it's like a little tie-in. It's a good year for you know, an optical year for everyone. But this is part of the New South Wales Pro Surf Series, part of a strong year-round calendar of surfing events in regional New South Wales. Really is one of the highlights on New South Wales events calendar every year. When we come here to Maroubra, as I said, people are really like surf mad here at Maroubra. You know, it's a real surf culture kind of a beach. Of course, it was documented pretty heavily in the Bra Boys book and movie and documentaries. Yeah, it's always nice to come back here to Maroubra as we see Jolie Vaughan up and riding again on this one.
Yeah, looks like he's going to bank. Oh, wow. He banked another air reverse on that one and finished it nicely right on the shore. So Joel's getting his groove on in this heat as we see Zach up and riding behind him. Tezza, do you want to take it through this one?
Yeah, Zach's got a little inside section, but there's not much happening on that one. But I tell you what, it's a lot of work out there this afternoon. There's not much to play with. Alistair Reginato is leading the pack at the moment. He's got two pretty solid scores, a 6.5 and a 5.6. Jolie's got a couple of good scores. I think there's still one to come through.
Yeah.
You got Zach is hot on their tail. Coda Killoran's been very quiet. You can see him in the white there.
Patiently waiting for a steeper wave to come through, I think, is his tactic in this heat.
I mean, there's so many ways that you can surf a heat. Here's the replays.
Yeah, so Joel Vaughan, as we saw before, he's going to take off in the sky on this one and pulls it through really nicely and banks another turn on that one and manages to get that one all the way through. And red behind him, that's Zach McMahon. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like this one is going to wall up for him, and quick up and out for green as well. So.
Yeah, that's right. So not much change. Coda Killoran finally has been waiting for something with a bit of open face on it. This kid's got a cool little backhand on him. I really like his style when he gets going. Throws it up there and gets a nice little wave there.
Yeah, really nice wave for Coda Killoran as red behind him, Zach McMahon. Tags that first section. He's going to carve it all the way through back into the whitewash. Hopefully he can grab another section on that one, and he does, and finishes that wave all the way through. So that will be a good backup for Zach. Unfortunately, he needs an 8.65 for that one, so that will hopefully minimize the requirement for that wave. And Coda also needs an 8.65 as well. So, and Joel's last wave actually locked in at a 5.65. So he's extended his lead and he's up and riding again. Well, Surfer in Blue has been very busy in this heat as he takes that one back to the power source, and wow, he's got them on dial now.
Hasn't he? What? I tell you what, he had his Cocoa Pops this morning, that's for sure.
He definitely did.
So this is Alistair Reginato. So plenty of waves coming through. I mean, mind you, it's only small, but it is contestable. And Alistair just trying to get a bit of variety on that one.
Yes, yeah.
That's also part of the criteria as well. Coda Killoran, as I said, has been waited for a long time for his last wave. And this is going to be wave number 3 for White. Unfortunately, just lost a bit of valuable momentum on that first attempted manoeuvre. So 6.5 to go. Bunch of scores coming through.
Plenty of scores coming through.
Okay, so Taz McKenna to Starling, holding it down. Coming up next, of course, yeah, there's some shenanigans happening in the background here. It's always good fun. Coming up next, of course, we've got 2 more heats to wrap up the day, so that's going to be pretty cool. And it'll be Adam Hennessy and Jessica Grimwood will be taking you through the last couple. Is that right? Is Dimmy coming here, or are you just coming in here? Is Dimmy? I think so, yeah. So Adam and Jess will take you through the last couple as we go to Zach McMahon. This kid here, I've got a feeling that we're going to hear a lot more of this guy. I mean, he's having a bit of a hard heat here, but for the last couple of contests that I commentated Zach McMahon, I was really blown away at how fast that kid is improving.
Yeah, he's kind of just come out of nowhere, don't you reckon? He's just gone, boom, and there he goes.
It's funny, isn't it? Because just something clicks, you know? Maybe they
the
get...
penny drops.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they get to an age where they just get a bit stronger, all the experience comes together, they may meet with a good coach that tells them something that changes everything, you know?
Yeah.
So, but it's interesting to watch these young guys develop, and that's what the QS1000s are for, really designed as just a foot in to get yourself some rankings on the World Surf League.
Yeah.
Because you got to start somewhere, right?
Exactly. Got to start somewhere.
And I remember back in the day, I think I finished my highest end of year ranking was 69, but there was, but there was. Back then, there was only a couple of hundred people doing the world tour. Yeah, I looked at the rankings at the end of last year and I went, what the hell? There's like 3,000 names on there. It was like a lot of people, you know?
3,000?
Yeah, it was like, I think it was 3,000. It was incredible. What's your ranking? Have you got a ranking?
Yeah, I don't know what it is right now.
Let's check it out. But
I should probably know.
yeah, but interesting, yeah. So that's the thing is use these 1,000s and then eventually get enough points to get yourself into a 3,000, eventually into a 5, and then you get onto the Challenger Series, and then you're onto the CT.
I'm 59.
Oh, well, there you go. You've already beat me. Well done.
Thank
and this is
you.
with thousands of girls on the tour, right? Or maybe like 1,000 or something. I don't know how many there are. There are going to be a lot of names in there, though.
Yeah, plenty.
Because
of
the
girls in
WSL
there.
are doing such a great job of, promoting and developing surfing worldwide. Okay, so we're down to 4 minutes to go. Let's have a look. Kota Killorn got that 3.55 and a 2.5, so he really needs to stay on point against his opponents. Jolie's got a couple of mid-range 5s, and then he got Alistair with a sort of a high 5 and a mid-range 6. So that's the deal at the moment. It's Zach McMahon needing a 7.5, Kota Killorn needing a 7.6. That's the bottom line right now. Okay, so day number 2 here at Maroubra. We'd like to also thank and welcome Air Asia, proud partner of Surfing New South Wales, to the Carve Pro. Of course, they fly to 150 destinations across Asia, connecting you to some of the world's best surf breaks, like Bali in Indonesia. It's where you get some great waves, like the pros ride at Karamis or Uluwatu.
Yes.
You've been to Bali a few times, Jess?
I'm true.
Oh, true, sorry. Yeah. Jess,
Look the same.
yeah, what a
we
classic.
Look the same.
Yeah, no, because your name's Jess too, so I've got like Jess and True in my name, but your sister just happens to be Jess as well. So I think that's where the Jess is coming from.
Yes.
Sorry.
No,
'Cause I got
that's
Jessica
okay.
Greenwood in the room here too.
Yes,
But I
we
so
do.
apologise for that.
No,
I'm trying
that's
to,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. Because do you guys even look alike?
Yeah, we
Okay,
do.
well, there you
yeah.
go. That-
She's just like
Really?
a lot taller than me. Yeah.
And
My-
she's your little sister,
She's
right?
my little sister.
How's that?
She got the tall jeans. I'm running at 5'2".
That's cool. Hey, it's a good size for a pro surfer.
Yeah,
Don't worry about that stuff.
exactly.
So 2.5 minutes remaining. Alistair Reginato is from, I think he's from the sunny coast.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he's
sunny
from up that
coast.
way. Great surfer. I was working up at the Ma Pa Bendel Memorial. It's a classic old contest on the sunny coast. You been to that one?
No, I haven't.
Really good contest in April. You want to maybe check it out. It's after the Quickie Pro. Really great contest at Moffat's, which is a right-hand reef on the sunny coast. You ever surf Moffat's?
Yes, I have surfed
It's
that.
kind of, it's got some patches in it, but look, the last year was my first year commentating it, and Alistair was there, and I was like, wow, that kid is just next level.
Yeah, he surfs really. He's got such a great style.
Did Zach McMahon just hit himself in the head with his own surfboard?
I think he might have.
I think he might have as well. Can we, let's break that down and have a look at that. That's probably worth a replay. A little he's just mucking around here, and he goes, oh, whoa, no, luckily he pushed his hand.
Yeah. Oh,
It looked like it
lucky.
hit him in the face, but anyway, he's all good. He's chasing the 7.5. It's going to be tough with 2 minutes to go, and Kota Killorn needing a 7.60.
Yes.
Tomorrow we're going to get a real good interaction going with our online audience. We're going to set it up on Surfing New South Wales Facebook page, and then we'll get you guys to leave a comment, and then we'll come and read the comment. And we're going to go back and forth, and we'll find out where you are, what
Yes.
you're doing, and I love doing that. I remember last time we did it, I was speaking to someone and said, yeah, I'm in a hot tub at 3 a.m. We're watching in Sweden.
Wow.
I was like, what? Awesome. Surfing's just getting everywhere these days.
In Sweden, you never
What are you
would
doing
have
at 3
guessed.
a.m. in a hot tub? Anyway, that sounds
I don't
like
want to
fun.
know.
All right, so we're down to just over 1 minute to go. It's green first. There's Alistair leading the pack, and again, just finding a way that won't break.
Yeah.
Priority will go to Joel Vaughan. Joel sitting in second. Zach McMahon is in third priority, needs a 7.5. Coda's in second priority, needs a 7.6. There's Coda in the white, and Zach, of course, is in the red. We're into the last minute of this heat.
We are, aren't we? They're pretty big requirements for the waves that are coming through today. I think tomorrow we might get a bit more swell. Do you reckon, Tezza?
I think we're going to see the start of a new northeasterly swell here on the southern beaches of Sydney. Maroubra gets the northeast swell and Bondi gets the southerly swell. So that's the deal. So if the winds are out of the south here, it's usually pretty clean, and it's get northeast swell. So I looked at Saturday's forecast. It looks pretty good.
Awesome.
I reckon maybe 3 to 4 feet, and the banks here at North Maroubra are really good.
Yeah.
So we're going to have some pretty fun waves over the next couple of days, folks. So make sure you check back in. Jolie Vaughan using his priority with a couple of seconds to go. Again, Joel's just such a smart competitor, isn't he? So
it again.
consistent. Yeah, there you go. I feel like,
He's
for
got
me personally, I feel like he deserves to win this heat.
Yeah,
He got
I
so many good
agree with
waves,
you
but I
on
mean, we're
that.
not arguing with the judges or anything. But
No.
from what I've seen, he did like a reverse on nearly every single wave that he caught.
And there was only one that he didn't land.
Either way, it's going to be Zach McMahon and Alistair Reginato rolling through heat number 13, round 2 here at the Carve Pro QS 1000 on the World Surf League. So we're going to throw to a commercial break right now and be back with more live action from Maroubra right after this. So stick with us.
Oh, bogged, eh?
Nah, mate, just parked.
Why are you parked with your wheels so deep in the mud?
That's just how I park.
Mate, we've got a...
Parked!
Righto.
New Amarok V6 Canyon. The power to handle what others can't.
Yeah, welcome back to the Carve Pro 2020 here with Jess Grimwood for the next heat of day number 2 of action.
Sid, thank you very much. Dimmy, we saw a pretty exciting little air show at the end of that last heat there. I believe Alistair and Joel moving on through. We have in the water heat number 14, Benjamin Hucker, Monty Tate, Ross Cadden and Geordie Taransky. I think you said this is one you've been waiting to watch all day, Dimmy.
Yeah, definitely. These guys are 4 surfers with a lot of talent and been on a pretty good roll too. Jordan was really impressive yesterday, and can't wait to see what young Benny Hucker has to offer as well. So Monty Tate, I do believe, is from this area, and he'll have a lot of local support. But it's been an awesome day. We've only just got the webcast up and running, but we've dead set seen some amazing surfing taking place.
Yeah, absolutely. Round 2, it seems like it could easily be way out into the quarterfinal stages of this competition with the level of surfing we've seen from the gentlemen here both this morning and this afternoon, taking on all the challenges. The conditions have been offering up a little bit of offshore early this morning, clean, smaller conditions, and then we saw the tide turn around in the middle of the day and run all the way back in with a little bit of a light onshore as well, just bringing a few more lumps and bumps of this swell. Tez McKenna was saying the forecast looks really, really nice going into the weekend here, and finals day will be on Saturday as we see Benny Hucker up and riding on his forehand and trying to create a bit of opportunity here. He's getting an early start. We see the lifeguards and all the Maroubra locals enjoying this World Surf League qualifying series event. And welcome, as I said, if you just tuned in, thanks for joining us with the Fresh Air broadcast crew. We are up and running from day number 2 here at Maroubra. First event of the Australian leg, Dimmy.
Yeah, a big, long leg. It goes right through to basically after Margie's, really, isn't it? So it's a long trip for these surfers, and the great thing about these 1000 events are the opportunity it gives the younger gen to build on their performances. It's pretty tough for these guys to get in 5,000s and challenge a series of events, but definitely at this level, these guys can match it, and this is where it all starts. They build their confidence, they get their groove on, and we've seen that in the last couple of days. The performance has been pretty solid, but I will tell you one thing about great performances. I have been loving the way Stewie Kennedy has looked early, even in the free surfs and even in his heat today, just build in-house. And I spoke to him and he's pretty excited about this year because he fell, desperately short one spot to get into the World Tour, but hopefully he might get a couple of opportunities.
Was that in the 2019 rankings? He fell one spot short of the championship tour.
In fact, he needed to get third in that heat. I think it was a semi or a quarter at Sunset, and he got fourth.
Wow, it just shows how close these athletes are in performance. And Benny Hucker putting in a bit of rail work on that little opening section. There you see Tate up and riding in the blue on his forehand, just coming off the back here. These guys look like they're going towards their kind of air game. Bit of repertoire being thrown out. It is the Carve Pro QS 1000 here. As you said, Carve kicking off the season in Australia. We go simultaneously with the Vulcan Pipe Pro that's on at the moment, as is the Pro Tags Out at Bay, I believe, the event in Morocco.
It's down to the quarterfinals too.
Yeah, down to the quarters. See a replay here of Blue's first opening wave. He's just on the hop there to try and get a section. He throws everything he has into that attempted rotation, but just not enough power to push him back down into the face of the wave and ride out. So I assume judges deeming that possibly incomplete manoeuvre. We'll go back to the drawing board to see Ben Hucker out in front at the moment in the red with a 4.75. And as we were saying, the schedule for the competition for these men, if you're doing the Australian, they go straight into a boomerang event, another 1,000, into the Evoker event for Vizsla, the Central Coast Pro, and then it's just hit after hit for these guys all before April.
Yeah, I saw the
massive
the lineup for the Evoker event in the 3,000, and you've got guys like Nat Young, Ace Buchan, some really world-class individuals, former CT surfers like Leo Munez, as we see the surfing right really digging in on that final turn. It's going to be an amazing Australian leg. Like we said, we got a couple of 1,000s. Boomerang, traditionally Boomerang always gets waves. It's a place that pumps. Last year was some of the best QS waves they scored on the whole tour. And like I said, to have a New South Wales surf series like we do at the moment, as we see Monty Tate up and right in there, very fluent.
Nice backhand attack there, that first turn, really smooth. And now we see surfer in white, Ross Cadden, I believe it is, up and riding on his forehand. That turn there, a lot spicier. Didn't have too much work, in my opinion, at the very start of it. So I'm sure these guys just trying to build on the situation. And you can see them, they're chasing that ramp. I think they've been watching Joel Vaughan in the previous heat, seeing him go to air on almost every single wave he caught. So I think they're chasing those ramps there, Dimmy.
Yeah, Vaughan was actually in the Red Bull Airborne the other day, and he, leading into the final, he was a standout for sure with Letty Mortensen, and it was the young dynamo in Dakota Waters who got the job done. So it's not surprising to see Joel go to the air because he's got such a good aerial attack. And this young man also getting busy and just trying to create that little bit of space in these heats, because there's been a lot of heats that have really gone down to the wire. And those 8-point rides today have been pretty much not that many really on offer, but Dakota Waters got an 8, I'm pretty sure, in his heat. And the young Japanese surfer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he went ham, didn't he?
Yuji Mori,
Yeah,
I think
he
it
went
was.
absolutely mental out there. So, great performance. And we were speaking about the Japanese contingent and how they have continually improved over the years to a point now where they are really challenging for qualification spots.
Yeah, absolutely. And big shout out if they're tuning in. I'm sure they're keeping a very close eye on the round 2 here of the men's. Head coach of the Japanese team, Masatoshi Ono, accomplished surfer, competition surfer in his own right. He has the full depth of the Japanese talent that's coming through the ranks, both the men and the women at the moment. Just all of them can just battle it out, all capable of making finals in all these events, the 1,000s up to the 5,000s. I haven't seen anyone compete on the Challenger Series yet. Obviously, it's new to the World Surf League's schedule this year coming into play.
Yeah, how good is it? Manly is going to be a Challenger Series event, and that adds a little bit more pressure to the performance levels of these guys. And I can tell you, both the men and the women, what you will see is a dramatic, increase in the number of World Tour surfers who actually compete at that level, because those Challenger Series events really play a massive part in qualification.
Yeah, exactly. As we see on the board there, you can see it's 15 minutes, 45 seconds on the clock. Cadden in the white, up and riding. Very, very energetic looking rail work there we've seen from him at the start of this heat. He's looking for that rotation. You can see it. He's lining it up all the way through the start of that wave, just not quite getting the opportunity there. As you said, those 10,000s, I think they're going to create that really nice bridge for that transition between being a World Qualifying Series surfer and being a World Championship Tour surfer. As we see the replay here from the man in white, look at the energy he's pumping through those rails. He's trying to get through the flat section, and that ramp not really standing up in front of him and giving him too much opportunity. But yeah, just perhaps seeing less of that kind of shell-shocked rookie onto it maybe in the next few seasons especially, and more of that really, really polished championship tour level that's used all those 10,000s to progress up through that qualification stuff, rather than just getting that slap in the face, Timmy, that you used to get.
I reckon, but if we do see one of those, those exciting grommets who just explode through 1 year, you know that they've got the goods, because they have had to really fight it out against the world's best. And, we are looking forward to it down at Manly to have that event as part of, the Australian leg of the tour. Traditionally the first sort of installments for each year, but these days, like, you've already been to China. So
yeah,
I'm pretty sure this is the third, the Vulcan Pro is the third 5,000 event of 2020, and we're only at the end of January.
Yeah, surfing's and the schedule for competitive surfing, professional surfing, just skyrocketing, as you saw just on the camera there. Nice little scope around the beach here at Maruba. You are watching the 1,000 event for the qualifying series, Carve Pro. Dimmy, I managed to sneak into the Carve tent before, and I picked myself up a pair of sunnies they had on display there, because you've been raving about how much better it is to look at the conditions with the polarized lens. I tell you what, pretty nice. I might have to have a chat with them and see if I can snag a pair or two. Or
Crispy gave me a pair of their brand Henricks polarized sunglasses. Amazing to look when you take them off your head and then put them back down. You just get such a good look into the ocean. Just beautiful quality sunglasses, and so good to have Carve involved in this event.
Sit as we see on the board there, breakdown of situation at the moment. We're just over 13 minutes in this heat 14. Cadden out in front. Ross Cadden with the 3.75 and just a 1.1. Monty in second at the moment with the 3.6 and the 1.26. Really small and very similar scoreline. You can look at Benny Hucker's score, very similar. Only looking for the 1.81 to get out of third. And Jordan Taransky, he's just got the 3 as well. It just shows you the conditions. What these guys are doing is pretty similar. The judges been on the money most of the day with that scoreline and comparison with everyone, as we see Benny trying to create some distance with himself here. Second wave, he's going to clock up on the board, and
that is a better wave.
Pretty good looking combination. You can see it's probably going to create that distance.
Yep.
Like you say, Dimmy, just perhaps put him a little bit ahead of the pack, as everyone's relying on their first waves at the moment, and that was a solid second one.
Yeah, that was good. A lot of speed and flow in those 3 manoeuvres, and really didn't waste anything. Took everything he could out of this wave and really attacked that last turn. I really liked it, just because of the fact there was no downtime in that turn, and he's a very strong kid. A massive shout out to his dad, Matty Hucker. I know he's been crook of late, and all our thoughts are with you, Matt. And your boy's looking very solid indeed out there right now. But like we said, no one's really lit it up in this heat, basically due to the waves. It's been pretty tough. That high tide really changed the way the bank was working, and we're a little bit more down towards the south, where this morning we're up towards the north. But the great thing about it is tomorrow we're going to see a big improvement in the swell and the size of the swell.
Absolutely. So last wave score for Benny Hucker there, 4.25 straight into the lead for him. We'll wait for the last wave for Monty Tate. We see a bigger looking set, and Jordan with priority. He throws his board up into the lip for that first section, but that one just closing out down the line. Like you said, towards the south end of Maroubra. Beautiful, beautiful landscape here. It's hard to believe that this beach is so close to the city, as we see a replay of Monty Tate's wave dimmy. Real stylish, nice first slash, and looking for that second one, kind of generating the points there in that wave. It didn't offer him much, so he had to go to his slashy manoeuvre, and there you see that wave just running out on him. He maybe could have stuck with it and got that inside link up, perhaps.
Yeah, I spoke to a lot of the athletes during the course of the day because I was very, very interested in what kind of equipment they were riding, and I reckon 80% of these guys will be riding epoxies.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially it's been quite soft
Yeah,
today, hasn't it?
just give you more flotation, a little bit more pop, and definitely generates a bit more speed, I reckon, in these kind of conditions.
What was Stewie Kennedy riding? Because he's always been one to ride quite different equipment. I feel like
Yeah,
he's always running something a little bit different to the rest of the pack when he's up in that qualification conversation. I've seen him on, I think he's riding Tomos or Firewires.
Yeah, Firewires.
Firewires.
He always looks. The thing that I like about the dynamics of Stewie's surfing is he always looks quick, and he's got that spark about his surfing. And when we talk in regards to judging and stuff like that, they talk about point of difference all the time, and he's definitely got that. He's got that speed, and he can generate so much pace, and it gives him the option to go to the air or to do big turns. And
He's got that Fanning-esque kind of like down the line.
He's always had it too. As a junior, Stewie was always one of the standouts. He came through a very solid pack of juniors like Matty Wilco, Owen Wright, Mitch Colborne, to name a few, and he was always a standout. So you always knew he had something special, but definitely his equipment has played a big part in his development over the last couple of years, as we see Green up and riding. Nice little release on the forehand there.
Look how shallow it is. There you go, stepping off into ankle-deep water right on the end of that ride. That was a good-looking little combination, and you can see spectators, all members of the public and the community here, able to waltz on down straight into the shoreline, pretty much stand, 50 metres away from some of the world's and Australia's best male competitors out here in the water. So it's a pretty amazing situation to be able to come and spectate, surfing and athletes at this level. If you see the replay here, Jody, I liked how he stuck with it here. The last one you saw him pull off, but he capitalises on that nice, clean little section, throws plenty of tail into that flary little turn, and then finishes off for a little lip line. And I think that one for White, not as good. But imagine this, if we're comparing it to the tennis, imagine the tennis, you could just walk straight onto the line on the side of the court, and you've been down and watched the Australian Open.
Yeah, did
Stand on the side of the court, and you could yell things, you can seriously watch up close and personal. Imagine if you could do that. That's the type of spectating is available here for surfing, and as it gets around the world and it's getting more and more popular, people are realising it's a free event. You can come down and watch the world's best athletes.
It's still only one of the only sports in the world where you don't have to pay to see the elite athletes, and that's the beauty of our sport. You can come down to the beach, enjoy a day at the beach, and watch some amazing surfing, because the normal average surfer could not generate anything that these guys can. It's incredible. Some people look at it and go, how are they doing turns out there? And we saw that last wave of Green, I think it was, and he was able to really, what I loved about that wave in itself was that he stuck with the wave, but not only did he stick with it, but he read it so well. That little fade gave him that opportunity to get right back in the pocket, and that's how incredible these guys and the development, not only of the older generation, but these new guys coming through. Pretty amazing to watch, because they all bring it these days.
Yeah, exactly. Well said, Dimmy. With just over 7 minutes, you can see in this heat number 14, Monty Tate's out in the lead with 2 mid-high range threes, keeping him out in front at the moment. Benny Hucker in second. He needs a 3.25 to take the lead. And Geordie just chasing that 3.41. Ross Cadden chasing the 3.51. So if you compare it to the rest of the scores being banked already in the first half of this heat, it's only going to be a matter of 1 or 2 turns, just a little combination as we see Taransky in the green, up and riding, spectators up close and personal, watching him step off into the dry sand. That was a nice looking combination. I think he's got that kind of 3-turn combo, that QS combo they call it, the 3 to the beach dialed. He's got the first turn in, he's fading back in the small surf, waiting for it to just steepen up a little bit, slashes his tail through it, and then waits for the end section. So bread and butter for QS surfing, Dimmy.
Yeah, what I like about Geordie's strategy out here is that he does not hold for priority. So what he's doing, he's just sort of scrambling around looking for scraps. But sometimes, even on the CT, you'll see those guys without priority, it just frees them up, and it gives them that opportunity to really have a crack without being under the pressure of utilising your priority. So Geordie has really done that well in this heat. And like you said, 3 to the beach.
3 to the beach. It's the old QS.
Did your coaches used to say that? If 3 to the beach, come on, get it done.
My dad says that still, as we see Monty up and riding. He's got a bigger looking face, but obviously not looking like too much opportunity on the sand there on the little shorey, but he chooses to pull out of that one. He is in the lead at the moment. Priority, you can see on the top left of your screen, the P symbolising priority with the man in red, Benny Hucker. Second priority is with white. Third priority is with Geordie. As you said, sometimes frees the surfers up a little bit if you don't have priority. You just have that room to scope around the bank, especially in conditions like this. Stay super busy, get plenty of little waves under your belt, and sometimes those waves end up being super important in progressing through these heats, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. We see Ben Hucker out there. He's, for the last 7 or 8 minutes, just sat patiently waiting. He has the best score of the heat so far. And like we said, he's actually in third. So he only needs a 3.1 to advance. But for him, he has made the decision to wait for that set. So as we see Benny up and riding, nice turn and releasing the tail and rides out of that one with a bit of conviction as well. So like we said, the strategy for Ben was to wait for a good one, whether that's enough to actually get him into that spot. As we see Monty Tate, the local boy, freeing the fins and continuing to build on his performance out there, Jess.
That was so nice and exciting, and gives you such an appreciation, like you said, for what these athletes are capable of in these conditions. Most other recreational surfers, including myself, are probably on a pretty thick, long board. I don't know. I'd be riding minimum out there. As we see the replay here of Monty Tate, look at him, high scoop in the first one, lines up the ramp, goes tail high and rotates it all the way through. Really smooth surfing, and see how much speed he's generated. I would 100% be on a mini mount out here this afternoon doing so. Just absolute amazing performance from these top level men athletes here in round number 2 for the Carve Pro.
Yeah, what I loved about that air was the fact that he was able to project into the flats and ride out pretty smoothly. So we saw one aerial manoeuvre a bit earlier, grab a 7.75. So I reckon that is going to be a pretty solid number because that was tough. And he had plenty of speed as well. So Monty Tate waiting for a score to lock in for him. And that last wave of Benny Hucker was enough to put him in the second. That gave him a 3.5. So that is changed the situation now. It is the surfer in blue first, red in second. And you can see that on the screen there, priority is with this young surfer in the white. That is Ross Cadden, and looking just to, fill the void there on the inside, but that wave not offering a lot. So he'll be back to the drawing board. There is 3 minutes to go in this heat, and it is the local guy, Jess, who has taken the lead with a 4.25 and a 3.9. And here we go, the surfer in white. We're at the Carve Pro, QS 1000, first event in Australia for 2020, and didn't feel like that long ago that, mate, that we were up at Port Stephens talking about the performance of Isabella Nichols, winning the QS.
I know, there's not a lot of downtime in surfing these days. We see Benny Hucker just getting a quick up and out. The schedule is so jam-packed, and a lot of these competitors, they're going straight from the end of their season. Like I said, 2019 season ends at the very end of November, and then their off-season, maybe a few days if they're really serious about the 2020 season, because they've got to get straight into training, dialing the boards in, getting the body ready, because kicks off straight away. It was the 6th of January that the qualifying series started again. So that's for the year ahead too. So these guys are just really got to focus in on, it's a marathon. You hear a lot of people say about the qualifying series, a marathon. It's not a sprint. So they've got a long year ahead of them, and it's so great to have them right on Aussie shores here at Maroubra.
Good for us too.
Great for us. So beautiful down here. As you see, we're winding down to the last minute and 42 seconds of this heat. Monty is in the lead. Benny Hucker in second.
I spoke to a couple of the Aussie guys, and they were speaking about the event that you're at in China, and they were saying that basically they had New Year's Eve, they packed their bags, and they were on a plane on the 2nd or 3rd of January.
Yeah.
So their downtime was basically 1 week, because most of them got back from Hawaii in mid-December.
Yeah, true. And that's what I'm talking about. It's such a commitment here. It is the best lifestyle. I might be a little bit biased in saying, but being a surfer or being involved in the surf industry, it's got to be the best lifestyle on offer. You travel around to the world's beaches. You with all these like-minded people. It's an outdoor sport. Everyone's super healthy and generally quite stoked doing what they love, and it's such a passion. So these guys obviously making the sacrifices of all that social situation maybe over
Yeah.
Christmas because they're locking in because they want to see themselves on the tour in 2021.
Look, it's professional surfing at a QS level can be a grind, but can also be very rewarding. But at the end of the day, people say, oh, what a lifestyle. You get to surf all around the world. Yes, but you have to be mentally strong to be able to succeed in this sport because it is a long, long trek from the juniors into the QS, into the World Tour. As we see, Ben Hucker, very strong on the backhand, kicking the tail, but that even with that epoxy board, very hard. And like you said, hats off to all these guys because when they start, it just goes on and on. I know guys have been trying to qualify for 12 years.
Yeah, true. As we see, the last 10 seconds of this heat, it looks like Benny may have called it for himself. He's currently in second, and he looks like he's going to progress through here with Monty Tate taking that heat out very nicely there. Heat number 14. We've got 2 more heats for this afternoon here. Stick with us. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the Carve Pro QS 1000 Maroubra Beach.
Yeah.
We always end up in the same place. Yeah, I keep on hurtling through the same space. I know I do. Get in a gutter, propping up some conversation. Shake 'em all out.
Is your home running out of space? Call Storage King. Whether you're moving house, renovating, downsizing, or relocating the hubby's man cave, Storage King has the answer. We also have a crack team of storage professionals who can organise it all for you, making Storage King the kings of storage, moving and more. Store before the 15th of Feb and get 1 month storage free. So visit storageking.com.au and let Storage King give you back some space.
Welcome on back to the Carve Pro QS 1000 Maroubra Beach. You are in the commentary booth with myself, Jess Grimwood, and Crispy, the notorious coach, as we see Men in Blue going ham on the first wave of that heat there. Crispy, welcome into the box.
Yeah, Jess, thanks for having me. And day 2 of the 4-day event, and yeah, we love it. Summertime here at Maroubra. This is where I grew up surfing here in Cronulla. Love it. Bit of history.
Oh, very nice. We see a little bit of a replay there from Theo Juliet, the guy in red, representing France. Opening wave for this heat. He's done well to progress all the way through to the inside and just pulls up short right in front of the spectators there. And there we go. Man in Blue. I believe that might be Grayson Hinrich. Another little opening combination. We've got Shane Campbell, former event champion, I believe, perhaps.
Yeah, 2 years
Yes,
ago.
2
Connor
years ago.
last year.
Yeah,
He
Connor.
went on to bigger things.
Yeah, and so Shane Campbell's out there in the green. Theo Juliet representing France in the red. Jed Faso in the blue. That was your Blue Rider Senior. Open up his account. And Grayson Hinrich is in the white. Crispy, you've had a pretty full schedule here for the event so far. I know chairing and coaching the Carve team.
Yeah.
And the guys and girls on deck down there. And then also jumping in the booth with us and running a bit of commentary as well. How's it been for you so far? What have you seen in the performances?
Yeah, pretty good. Like with Shane setting him up, and these guys know the drill. You know, they've gone through the pathway, the junior series, pro juniors, and they're in the big league. So these guys have got big futures, and trying to maintain it and grab a hold of that dream, courtesy of the Carve QS 1000.
And they've been supporting this level of surfing for a while now. I know I've seen, especially for a few years, been working with Philippa Anderson from the girls' side of the draw. And, of course, you've got Stewie Kennedy, as we see, the French surfer up and riding in the red on his forehand, just not quite getting any opportunity here. Shane Campbell opening up with that 3. And surfer in blue. So opening up 4.25, getting the better of the first exchange. Grayson just a 3.9 in his scoreline. So very close little scores at the moment, very early on in the 25-minute heats. But yeah, you've got some pretty serious team riders there for Carve. Stewie Kennedy, as Dimmy was been talking about, he's always been kind of a step above with his speed and equipment.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you've got Shane Campbell, got Philip Anderson, who's in that conversation for qualification every year for the last 4 or 5 years. He's just 1 or 2 spots off every year.
I know, and the support's a big thing, like you're saying. We've been here 6 a.m, CEOs down here, the families down here, the kids are down here with some of the athletes, and yeah, it's about bringing those moments and really putting it all together, as you know.
Yeah, and when you call it we've been saying for the whole event, it's an Australian-based and owned company. It actually really is. You have, like you said, the CEO, all of the team that work with Carve are down here. They're either in the office and they're on the road doing the work, or they're down here at the event supporting face-to-face. It's not an offshore company that are just kind of, dialing in through the internet. So it's so nice to see such great support and kind of that family feel about.
Yeah, definitely. And it's hard work, like listening to Matty White, the CEO, and the former team, like Robbo and all the crew, Buddha, Mel, who's a big part of it, and all the team in the package area at Liverpool. They work so tirelessly hard, especially at Liverpool. It's pretty hot out there.
Yeah, it'd be very hot.
They need a wave pool, which that'll come out home bush, close. But yeah, it's a great team to be part of. I've been a surfer who was with Carve, and then as a free surfer, and then now team manager the last 4 years. It's just an honour to just support surfers like Shane up and riding, and he's a former winner 2 years ago.
Yeah, I remember being on the beach the year he won.
Yeah.
It was really exciting. He obviously has a lot of local guys from Cronulla. I think he's from Cronulla as well.
He's Cronulla, Allura board rider.
Yeah, so there was a lot of people on the beach that year that he won supporting him, and it was so exciting because I believe he was working a trade at the same time that year.
Yeah.
Maybe down there in Cronulla. So to see him take out an event and realise, oh, hang on, I'm kind of pretty good. I should probably, just focus on this. That was pretty.
I think he was a fish and chip trade. So
was it? I thought he was.
Chips
I thought he was an electrician or a builder or something down there. He was labouring for some point, but maybe that's just what he told me. I'm not sure.
Well, he's studying now. So Renata and Brad, shout out to them at home at the beautiful Boulevard at Cronulla. He loves the tennis too. In his warm-up, we're talking tennis, and he loved that win over Nadal last night.
Oh, yeah. It's exciting. It's so exciting. I always remember it's always at the start of the season, the Australian Open and the kickoff. Yeah, with all the events. It's just so inspiring. Yeah. You can draw a lot of inspiration from great sports people. As we see, just 18 minutes on the clock. Shane Campbell is out in front. And Surfer in Red staying very tight in the pocket there. Small looking wave. He's staying really low. You can see him compressing heaps, Crispy.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely hard and slim pickings out there. You really got to be on your game. We've been looking at both banks. So banks starting to open up to the north end, but they're all sitting on that south end. So it's really, really focusing on and adapting to the changes with the bank as the tide pulls out, and hopefully this new swell starts to roll in with a 14-second period, small waves.
And without giving away too many of your coaching secrets, I've seen you at most of the events last year, and pretty much always just on the beach at first light and till dark pretty much. As you see the replay, Crispy, what would you say after watching this wave and watching what's on offer out here? What is the tactical move now? Obviously, for Shane and for the other competitors going into the second half of this heat.
Yeah, well, thank God he hasn't got his Apple Watch on, so he can't hear me, but yeah, Shane, just really get waves, get in position, and complete your turns. You don't finish your turn, you get a low score. So keep it simple. And he's strong. He knows the rhythm. He knows Maroubra, and it's just really supporting him as a coach. You support, you develop, and that's really the simple things.
I'll tell you another calf team rider. I think
Freya.
is surfing for you. Yeah, Freya.
Yeah, Freya Prom,
her
love it, yeah.
in China, she was one of the standout competitors.
Yeah,
just a real,
definitely.
very quiet achiever. She's just hanging out in the contest area, playing guitar in between heats, and just being Freya. She's such an individual, and she just really blew up. A massive start to her season on the QS there as well. I think she's going to be quite a dangerous little competitor there going in to the rest of these Australian events, as we see.
She had some podiums too last year. End of the year, she got a really good podium result, got second, and QS is out throughout the year. It's just plugging away, and like she's studying up at the Gold Coast. But Freya, she's a great initial and a support for the females coming through. You've got Millie Allport, Jughead's daughter. You've got people like Freya Prum. They've been there, and you've got Rhea Campbell. She came up. We gave her the wild card. She had a great result at the Pro Junior up at Debo last week. It was like, yep, there it is, emerging talent.
Yeah, there's just so much here untapped. As we see Red up and riding, the Frenchman on his backhand. Gets a little bit hung up in that second turn and just, I don't know if jumping or slipping off there, Crispy, but...
Yeah, he was scared of that shore break.
Scared of the ankle breakers there. We've already seen a broken board here first thing this morning. Almost, I think it was a clean...
That was our team rider, our new team rider, Benny. He's part of Culburra, so Benny Warren, no relation to Shano.
Oh, no.
But he can fly and spin, and he's a great surfer. He's a part of the ABB, the pathway to the podium for board riders, and the support courtesy of Surfing Australia, Surfing New South Wales. For all the board riders is where it starts, the grassroots.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, Benny snapped his board on a floater.
Did see it.
And I was like talking with him, he was Devo, but he had a great heat win yesterday, and it was just like his first QS, his first priority, and it was just get out there and have fun.
And did he end up progressing through, or did he?
Today he snapped his board.
Oh, he snapped his board and bowed out.
And that is contest. You know, you got to get up and keep going. That's probably the key for third and fourth. Half the event left yesterday, and it's chin up and focus on the rest of the year.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many tears yet on the beach too, so...
Yeah.
Poker faces all around for the start of the season. Toward the end of the season, you start seeing a few tantrums and tears on the beach.
Oh, that's why you get your polarized Carve sunglasses. No one
Cover up
can
the tears.
see your eyes.
Absolutely, with Grayson up and riding. That was a nice looking backhand jab there, straight in to the bottom turn for his forehand. Maybe looking a little bit caught off guard, perhaps towards the end, but still.
And he's a high flyer. He's from Bondi, local lad, just up north a couple beaches. And Jed Faso, you know, they train a part of Surfing Australia with the crew like Clancy Dawson and Kate Scarrett, the Scaz, and B. Dervidge. They're doing a great job with the emerging talent and just crafting great surfers and great humans. That's the key.
That's nice, Crispy. That was a good coaching spiel. It was really good. As we look at the replay here, first turn, nice. Brings the tail right back into play. I feel like he just got a little bit caught up.
Yeah.
Bit caught off guard when he switched back around to his forehand there. And Jed opting out of the way of Shane Campbell there. We'll see Shane's replay. Look how light and quick he looks on his feet.
Yeah, that's his favourite board. He's on his winning board, feeling good. So you don't want to disrupt that momentum. And spicy.
And look, straight out in front, 5-point ride on the board, 13 minutes. He's only got a back of a 3, so I'm sure he's looking to get rid of that one. Grayson in second. Jed just chasing a small score, as is the Frenchman, Juliet.
Well, he's Jed, the goofy footer from Bondi, and just can't get rhythm. And I'll tell you, when he had rhythm, gold medalist, ISA junior champion, representing
2019.
Australia. It was 2018, so great spear fisherman too. He catches fish bigger than himself. Yeah, but he's a great ocean man, and that's it. It's great to see these guys. They're the most dangerous. My last tip is when they're most relaxed. Get him relaxed, and he will bring out the firepower. Really good aerialist as well.
I find also in the thousands, I find all of these heats, all of these guys are not necessarily massive names yet in surfing. They're super dangerous. This is literally where you want to tune into. You're looking for the development of surfing, especially Australian surfing. The Carve Pro kickoff season, you can see who's done the off-season training, who's looking sharp, and they're hungry. They want the points. They want to be in the 5,000 events, and they want to be in the 10,000. So real good indicator of Australian surfing. I feel like there was a bit of a lull for a few years with the man. I didn't see a massive pool of like really, really hungry competitors. It kind of was a few quiet years, and then suddenly we just got handfuls and handfuls
Yeah.
of them in this conversation. So you can see out in the water, Grayson now in second, Jed just chasing that 3.25, and Theo Gillette, the Frenchman, 4.5 to advance. Just another shout out to all the partners working with Carve and Surfing New South Wales here for the event. I know Air Asia, Beach Burrito have been feeding us this whole event too, Crispy, and
Awesome.
the South End Hotel, Storage King, just a massive amount of companies deciding to jump on the surfing partnership game because it is seriously a very popular sport. It's about to get a whole lot more popular with the Frenchman going to work on his backhand. He's made the link all the way. Very, very nice grovel. If
Yeah.
you're looking for a QS grovel, that is it right there. Bread and butter QS is just absolutely generating scores out of almost just tiny, tiny little opportunities there. But as I said, the surfing's about to just... surfing's massive, and it's always been that super cool sport. We'll have a look at the replay here.
Yeah, good little start. Picked it up with priority, so nice little setup as he just waits for this inside and starts to get sharp, stays in the power pocket, and yeah, so let's see how he just lifts it there and stomps it out. Judges want to see commitment. They want to see the front of the board projecting out of the wave and turn.
Yeah, I feel like he made that score there too. He's really...
He grinded it.
Yeah, QS grind.
And it's not about turns, it's about attack. You see the head judge, Luke Reading, and Benny Dunn. We've got such an amazing panel of judges. QS level, ISA. They've done the yards, both on tour as surfers and now in the official camp. And they know what a 4.35 looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
So be ready to shake the tin for the French surfer.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the same, surfing just catapulting into probably the eyes of a lot of the public that weren't necessarily directly involved in the industry at all. Like, if we're going to be showcasing the Olympics this year, 2020, something like in the Brazilian Olympics, it was 3.6 billion people tuned in for those games over there in Brazil. So if you can imagine, you're chucking surfing on a stage that we've never before seen in any way in the industry. These guys right now that are in that water and competing right here at Maroubra are going to end up being household names. I dare say you're going to see them on tour.
Yeah. Oh, totally. It's stratospheric. It's to Mars and back, courtesy of surfing.
It's massive. As we see Jed finding a steeper looking pocket. Oh,
how was that little negotiation? And that was like rock and roll.
I liked that. I thought he really controlled. Like, he just kind of dominated
Jed Faso
the hell out of that end of that section. He looked so solid there. He knew exactly where he wanted to put his board. He's only chasing that 3.25. Have a look at this replay here. That was the Frenchman's just a quick up and out. Here's Jed's. Cuts all the way back into the wash. Jams for a little in the pocket. He's waiting for it to... There, that. He just kind of stall snaps it and then lines up that end floater, stomps it, jumps off. A bit of a... I don't know. I feel like it's always a bit of a claim in body language when you're that confident to run off your board into the dry sand. And nice looking answer back from the Frenchman.
And definitely one of the biggest waves of this heat. Biggest score, Shane Campbell in the lead, a 5 and a 3. So the Frenchman really, when that score comes through, that one just got a bit caught up, bit straight-legged. Got to be low. You're tall, you fall. It's that simple. But really low as Jed Faso. That's going to get him up, climbing close to what's needed to go to second and advance through to day 3. Waves are on the mend. They're going to get better. They're on the forecast. So day 3, day 4. And we may see the girls first up tomorrow. What's the call from contest director?
I'm not sure. Yeah, what the official call is. Possibly.
Yeah, subject to change.
Yeah, if I was competing, I would definitely just be ready.
Be here at 6 like I am.
Yeah, and you're always here.
Yeah, feels he's going to be here. Like Philippa Anderson, our top surfer for the females.
Also defending champ.
Yeah.
Defending event champion. So we see that towards the 7-minute mark, Jed's put himself into second position on the strength of that last wave. I think we're waiting for a score to lock in for Theo Gillette, the Frenchman. He did get that 3-turn combo. We saw the replay of. He is in 4th, chasing that 4.8. That first turn was really strong, like you said. That second turn he kind of got hung up on, but he stamped it closed on the 3rd. So it'll be interesting to see if it throws up. There you go.
Yeah.
Straight into the lead. 5.10. So judges deeming that best wave ridden so far in this heat number 15.
Wow, how was that little adrenaline rush for the heat leader, and now he just scoops on with priority 4, another wave. That just put a spring in his step.
It did. You kind of saw as they must have announced it on the
Yep.
beach commentary, all the pack kind of look at him and he just go vroom,
Yep.
and
The Frenchman.
zip in. Yeah.
Gillette, smooth cutties and smooth turns. So Shane Campbell now needs a 3.26, small wave. Really just drop that 3. He's holding priority, 6 minutes on. So he'll be looking to close his heat in, maybe jump to first. And then Jed Faso, small score. They just need the wave. So it's all about choices now.
Yeah. Just one set to roll in the next 6 minutes could see literally 4th to 1st or vice versa. It's anyone's game. All of these 4 competitors, very, very high performers and top level athletes here for the Carve Pro. You're watching it live from Maroubra Beach. We'll be broadcasting to you for the rest of the event. As you see Shane Campbell waving his hands above his head to signal to the beach commentary. He wants a situation breakdown. He wants to know with priority what he has and what does he need to take the lead again, and possibly tactically what do the others need to jump in front of him, especially during the last 5 minutes. Crispy.
Yeah, so here he is, former ISA champ, Grayson Henricks from Bondi, and I told you, well, I don't think it was a claim. I think I was just bang it out and stick it. It's a nice couple of turns, but needs around that average range between a 4 and a 5.5.
If you compare it to Theo Gillette's last wave of 5.1, Grayson needs a 4.11. Theo had that first big bang.
Yeah.
The second kind of stuck turn and a third really nice closeout turn there. Grayson kind of only got one really good turn and then just a bit of a closeout foam tap. So I'm not sure if that was his 3-point.
Yeah, where's it going to fit? Speed, power, flow.
Always referring back to that rule book. I did realise with the World Surf League now you can download the rule book and regulation book just online now. So, you know, if you're involved in the sport or not, you want to just have a look at what's on offer, you can.
Yeah, here we go. Former champ looking to fly. Well, nice little jam and, well, busts the fin. So Shane Campbell looking to, looking for a new set of fins.
I liked that. I thought that was so stylish. Through the very end of that first turn was nice, and it just shows he's in real control out there, I feel like, over his own equipment, and he's feeling really good. He doesn't look unsure, unstable whatsoever. Hopefully we can get a little bit of the replay. Very happy to have the Fresh Air broadcast boys jetting on in to Sydney, Maroubra. Very fun group of guys to work with.
Well, there it is. So got it done. He's back to the lead with priority. So smart choice, attacking turns and commitment.
Yeah, look
Took
at
it
him.
to the dry ground.
You can see him sitting kind of half up on his board, ear pricked to the beach commentary. He's listening. He's liking what he hears with just under 3.5 minutes on the clock. Great looking surfing there from Shane Campbell.
And I'd like to say a shout out to all his Canadian friends. They're here. You've got a few coaches and junior surfers. They've flown all the way over. So it's great to see the international surfers here. Japan, like Kato, and a few of the other Japanese male and female surfers. But the Canadians, they've probably travelled the furthest, but showing their commitment to surfing and learning.
I've not seen many Canadians turn up for QSs yet, so maybe this is just a little clue at, you know, the popularity of surfing. We're going to see these numbers skyrocket. And also we have an Israeli surfer surf earlier today.
I saw that.
Yes, we have South African surfers, the Japanese, we had some Brazilian competitors, and some Kiwis, obviously, as well. Always here, for the Australasian leg. With 2 minutes, 30 seconds, Shane out in front. The Frenchman holding on to second. But Jed and Grayson just chasing. A 4.01 and a 4.36. It's about 2 solid turns. We'll get them straight into progression, find themselves into round 3. We have Friday and Saturday on the cards here. Broadcasting to you live from Maroubra Beach for the Carve Pro. Crispy, you'll be with us. Probably splitting your time between coaching a potential Carve Pro champion.
Yeah, that's right. It only takes one, and we had one last year, one the year before. So looking, for Shano, Stewie, and Philippa all for podium finishes. And maybe the grommet, Josh Pepper. He's up next. We'll be in the booth with him.
Very nice. Heat number 16 to round
Yeah.
off day number 2 here for round 2 of the men. You can see the Maroubra lifeguards been on water safety for us here for the whole event. It's been beautiful conditions. The beach has been pretty busy, I'd say. Everyone's gone back to school, but there's a lot of spectators posting up on the beach right there, enjoying this really nice weather. The water's super warm, crystal clear. Honestly, we are so blessed to be. It's one of the best surfing destinations you could compete at for sure. 20 minutes from Sydney City.
Yeah.
But you can go and enjoy a bit of the nightlife after you've finished competing and winning. And you can just cruise 20 minutes back out to the coast and hang out in Maroubra. Very down-to-earth crew around here too. So there you see.
There it is, just chilling, hard day at work, whether the airport, usually the airport or the wharfs.
Exactly.
Or the city.
Yeah,
We
everyone
love
just
shift work.
enjoying their time off down here. As we see, Jed, he needs a score. We're down under 50 seconds. He's trying to create some opportunity for himself. He hops his way into a steeper looking inside section. That wave, gosh, he's really creating those scores for himself. That wave didn't help him whatsoever through the inside. Be interesting to see. He does only need a 4.01.
Yeah, this is where the pressure cooker either deals out some gold bullion or it really shakes a few people up. They get burnt. And really making the most of this one. Really hang with it. He's committed to it. He's going to stick with it. And that's why he's bouncing, trying to get to that section to fit another turn in. Well, to get that score in these size waves, that's going to, I reckon, just under that one. Don't think it's going to be the score.
I agree with you,
Jess.
Crispy. Just in comparison to the other waves and scores. And he gets it just before the buzzer. On 2 seconds to go. He's trying to give himself enough chance to post that 4.01. We're going to have to wait to see what the judges decide on those last 2 rides, I think.
Yeah, so all those at home on the web around the world, we will let you know as we roll shortly to a commercial break. The Carve Pro QS1000. We'll see you shortly.
Upcycled coconuts, converting waste into want to create the perfect performance board short.
Oh, bog day.
Nah, mate, just parked.
Why are you parked with your wheels so deep in the mud?
That's just how I park.
Mate, we've got a...
Parked!
Righto.
New Amarok V6 Canyon. The power to handle what others can't.
Well, I do my best to think of better days. And as you walk me to the water.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you just tuned in, you are watching the Carve Pro Maroubra Beach QS 1000 event live in the water. We have last heat of the day, heat number 16, Alex McGuffin up and riding in the red straight away, kicking off his 2020 campaign. He's getting himself nice looking combination there on his forehand. In the blue, Ashley Kayla, I believe, formerly known as the Pirate. I'm pretty sure he is one of the surfing characters in the industry, been around for a little while. Ash Killer and Joshua Pepper, one of your Carve team riders, and Lucas Paes, the Brazilian, progressing through round 1 yesterday. You are watching last heat of the day in the booth with Jess Grimwood and Crispy, one and only super coach on the beach down here at Maroubra. Crispy, you've got one of your boys in the water, Mr. Pepper.
Yeah, the last one to shake it through to round 3. So, yeah, Josh Pepper, South Coast, you know, connected the Carve through family, but great surfer and board riders and also pro junior, so he's stepping up with the big leagues again like last year and really getting some exposure and getting some experience. So it's great to have him here. Small waves, still getting some turns. And that last heat, as we said, well done, Shane Campbell. Yeah, one of our elite teams here at Carve and taking a win. And Theo Gillette, he really shook the kettle on that one and took second. So congratulations through to day 3. And Jed Faso, that last wave of 3.7, not enough in the end. He needed a 4.1. And Grayson Henricks, champ, so they live another day.
That's it. So we're talking about the importance earlier on today with a few of the guys up in the tent. Crispy, that these, if you take out a 1,000 event, especially this early in the season, it can come into play for your qualification for the following year on the championship tour. Connor, I know,
Totally.
using that 1,000
1
result.
to 1, 1 to 3 out of Oka. Had a bit of a middle okay, a few round 2, round 3s, and then when he was over Europe, he tore the bag, and then, well, the rest is history in Hawaii.
Yeah, exactly. As we see McGuffin straight into the lead. Have a little look at the breakdown of scores for him. Just 3.50 for Alex at the moment. Ashley, I'm pretty sure they nickname Ashley the Friendly Pirate. I'm sure he's up from the Gold Coast. He's
He
down,
does.
sorry.
I see him around. You see him around Lennox at home, and sometimes around Snapper when there's a nice swell coming on.
Yep, the Friendly Pirate. He used to rock a eye patch. I'm not sure if he's rocking it anymore.
Maybe he's just got the hat, the captain's hat.
Yeah, perhaps.
Hook. The Wiggles. They need some new Wiggles. Good luck.
I've seen this Brazilian guy, Lucas Paes. I hadn't seen a lot of him around on the QS before, but I watched him surf yesterday, and he's so compressed and quick with his surfing.
Yep.
Really, I guess we're generalizing Brazilian surfing, but they're quite well known for their very low, compressed, real quick, beachy surfing. So really suited, I guess, to these tricky conditions, as we see the Friendly Pirate up and riding on his backhand there.
Patting the cat, as Terry McKenna would say.
Is that what
I
you
love
call it?
that call. Just patting the cat, trying to get on, pat the whitewash. But yeah, he's on the board. He's having fun. Great to see. But this wave probably, bigger wave, really good selection with priority and really fitting some turns in. Maybe less is more, but still banking some turns in there. Early on in, just getting the cobwebs off the rails, really.
Yeah, super early. So 25-minute heats, and this is the last heat of the day. So a lot of these athletes have been here since dark this morning, preparing themselves and their equipment, getting ready for their round 2 battle. And sometimes nice to just shake off a little bit of the nerves or stiff legs from hanging around all day. It is really beautiful weather. A little bit hot out if you're in the direct sun here at Maroubra. I think it must be in the high 20s, as you see. There's your man, Josh Pepper, up and riding. Ooh, stylish little hack back there.
Yeah, Carve team rider. Great wave and, well, jammed it in the pocket and nice completion. So good combo.
Very nice combo. I could hear them whistling.
Yeah, that's the CEO, Matt White. You can hear that whistle. It was at Manly. It was in South Africa. It was everywhere last year, even in China.
I love how he's not just kind of directing from the top. He's literally on the sand, copping the sunburn and the sand in the eyes as well, just cheering on. There's the Brazilian competitor, Lucas. See what I said? Real small, kind of very light stature guy. Really, the Brazilians are so efficient in the air and so good in little beaches. They're very well known for it. I don't know if you've had a chance to listen to the new WSL episode with Dave Prod, and he speaks to Jadson Andre about the Brazilian Storm and the pre-storm that was before. As we see the replay here of the Brazilian, we're speaking about Lucas Paes in the green there. Not too much on offer, very small, not even a wave there, and he's still hopping around. This is kind of the money right here.
Yeah,
getting
big
better in
wave.
exchange. Yeah, look at that section.
I love this completion. There it is. If you're looking for a good score, you got to get combos. You got to get completion.
Absolutely, as you see.
Ouch.
A little bit of a slip off. Splits for current heat leader, but yeah, have you had a chance to listen to that new episode with Jadson?
I've heard, the Ockcast. I love the Ockcast.
Oh, the Ockcast, yeah.
Everyone, if you haven't heard the Ockcast, you listen to all those 50 episodes. But, the Brazilian Storm, they're a huge you know, when they came through from when they're going through the World Juniors and then now on the tour, they're a force to be reckoned with. As with the Japanese. You're talking low, you're talking beach break. They are a force as well, as seen on the ISA and the World Championship Tour.
They've got that depth too, and that's what we were looking at when we were talking about board rider battles. Those clubs that have the real depth of talent, not just like the one or two really notorious surfers in a division, but literally like 10 people that can take out the event, each event. So having so many people coming up through the big board riders groups now and having that big pool of talent to pick from, you see like what we were saying with the Japanese surfers, there's not just like 1, 2 or 3. There's I saw 10 Japanese surfers probably in China that could have taken out the event, and to have that many good people for one nation just creates something like what we call the Brazilian storm. It's like what we see how many people in the top 10 of the men's are Brazilian at the moment? I think for last year, it was a huge amount.
Yeah, I think it was 10. We had about 8 Australians, and then also in the females we did well for the Australians, as when you're at Newcastle or Port Stephens, that was an amazing result for the Aussies. But yeah, the countries are strong.
Top 10 men's ranking on the championship tour at the moment. First, second, fourth are all Brazilian. So there you go, 17th. They're just really, really big.
The green and
pool of
gold.
Talent. Yeah, green and gold. Luke.
They got the Jinga.
Lucas Bay at the Jinga, opening up his account just with a 1.9. So he has a bit of work to do towards this 15-minute mark. He needs a 2.76. McGuffin out in front with 3.5 and a 2.8. Josh Pepper in at second, 3.65 and a 1. You can see a lot of these guys needing to back themselves up, replace that small second wave score, and Ash just a couple of mid-range ones there. So early on in the heat, we need a few sets to roll on through here for this afternoon. It's the last heat of the day, round number 2. We've had 15 heats prior to this one in total, 25-minute heats. Judges been on point, setting the scale early on this morning as we see Ash up and riding on his backhand, Crispy.
Yeah, good pick up. So better wave with priority, and well, he's got to keep busy and really look for that Josh Pepper completion. And he does that, but again, they will compare turns. They'll look at the replay as well. Look at speed, power, flow, control, even innovation. They're looking. We saw before one of the Vaughan boys, so Joel Vaughan, 4 air revs in a row on 1 foot waves. It was pretty cool, and they're looking for spice. They're looking for sparkiness.
Absolutely, as you see. McGuffin just getting a nice little forehand combination in there, and Ash maybe just trying to push too hard through those lumps and miss timing maybe the last turn. I don't think there you go. It's replaced to one of his 1.5 with a 2.85. And Red is still out in the lead as you see Josh with priority. Here we go. Steeper looking wave straight up into the lip.
Yeah, so Carve team rider up and riding from the south coast. And again, looking for that combo. It's like he's got that on tap. Looked a bit like his other one, but a smaller wave. So will it be the 2.65?
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe he got roll out as a 2.85.
Yeah, as you see, a replay of it here, he stays really compressed and straight up into the lip, just using all the speed he got from the takeoff there. Bumps around, throws heaps of spray and that little whip to create the end little combination there because the wave kind of fizzled out on him. It's definitely going to replace his 1-point ride easily. He's now, though, chasing a 4.61 because Red has banked himself the 4.75 and a 3.5. I don't think it's going to go up into the 4 range, but maybe a low 3. I would say high 2, low 3. Obviously, this is just our opinions here in the booth. The judges can't hear us. They're on the beach, set up in the stalls. You see it coming through there, a 2.8.
Yeah, so
2.8 for the
he
last
got
one.
the score, but Alex McGuffin just those. It's all about the vertical hit and power, just extending his second wave. So smart play by Alex McGuffin. He's just sticking to his strengths, going vertical, whereas the other guys are playing catch up. So the Brazilian in green needs a 4.55, needs to really get with priority make a good selection.
Maybe just even, I know he's got the full air reverses on tap in his repertoire. Maybe just going to the air once is going to bank you something around that score. Or if you have a look in comparison, especially to the last heat as well, around about a 5 is almost 3 solid turns if you think about the last few heats. So interesting to see if the guys get some bigger sets through the second half of this heat with 12 minutes on the clock. It is the last heat of the day here for round 2, Crispy.
And guess what on tomorrow? So as we see, green needs a wave and blue, 3-6-1, but Josh Pepper holding second, local Carve team rider, and Shane Campbell through last heat. But Alex McGuffin in the lead on this heat. As you said, 12 minutes remaining. That's all the time in the world. That's like a junior series heat. Sometimes you get 15 minutes in the junior series.
Remember when they used to run the Vulcan qualifying series, they ran that little kind of splitters qualifying series too, where they had their own round of events around Australia. They used to run 10-minute heats, I'm pretty sure, 15-minute heats. So a lot can change in a few minutes. I know World Surf League commentator Barton Lynch used to train a lot of his grommets in just that skill of how many waves he can get or you can get in 2 minutes or 5 minutes. It's not even about, it's literally how many times you can take off and ride a wave. It just shows you the potential if it's down towards a few minutes left in the heat or even 10 minutes. You've pretty much got a whole heat on your hands. It only takes 30 seconds to ride a wave.
Oh, totally. And even Olympic readiness camp last week with Lane Beachley and B. Durbidge and all the crew just, well, Steph Gilmore, Sally Fitz and some of the pro juniors, Nixie and Philippa, Piper Harrison. Steph won 13 waves in 25 minutes.
You still run the same drills.
Still
Very
happens.
nice. They work. I like that.
Give us 7 times world champ.
Give a little bit of insight into without giving away to the world, obviously Australia's tactics and strategies in training their teams up for the Olympics. What was the vibe there going into that camp? Obviously at the High Performance Centre.
Well, just green and gold, really. Green and gold and great humans. Yeah, no, it was amazing.
It is a great bunch of humans. And what capacity are you involved with the team's
so
development?
I coordinate and coach up there, but now and then pulled into some great things. So,
Very tight-lipped, Chrissy.
But, don't want to say too much. But all the best over there. They've got the ISA Worlds, and then it's exciting.
It's so
as you
exciting.
said, it's into the stratosphere surfing with the wave pool and more to come.
It literally is. I feel like that was a really nice combination right away from current second place holder Josh Webber. He's looking for the 4.66 to take the lead back off Alex. Nice looking combo. May have got a little bit of work done on the outside, but it's just surfing is just so exciting. It's exciting to be a part of before the whole world thinks it's cool, and then when it's being catapulted, like you said, into the platform and the mainstream kind of media that it's going to be. Imagine, there's so many amazing, funny Australian surf characters that are going to end up in front of the TV in the next few years.
Totally.
And I can't wait to see how they perform and how they represent the culture we have here for surfing, because it's quite unique, Australian surf culture. Very laid back, very funny, real nice vibe as we've been experiencing down here. Maruva were quite infamous for their surf culture. Great vibe, real hardcore surfing fans down here. All the local guys been down watching every morning. Crispy, I know you probably know a lot of the guys.
Yeah, a few of the guys. I saw Dan Steinman. He introduced me to board riders here at Maroubra with the crew with CS, and I remember buying my first local motion from Sonny Abbott at the Underground board store. And then coming from Cronulla as well, it was like learning the ropes over there. It's amazing surf history, and 30 years later, we've got grommets here through the Carve team and coaching, and we just pass it on. You keep passing on that legacy of surf and fun and good lifestyle and adventure.
Yeah.
In the ocean and on land.
Yeah, very nice. It's such a good time to be a part of it too. I feel very lucky to be chilling out in the booth watching the world's best surfers. As we see towards the 7-minute mark here, Red's still out in the lead. You can see the score breakdown. Their priority lies with the Brazilian. He's chasing that 4.65. And he really pretty much needs to start again with his scoreline there. Just a 1.9 and a 0.5. We saw him perform so well yesterday, making it through round number 1. He's got it in his performance.
Yeah.
He's got the turns in his back pocket. We just need the opportunities here towards the end of this last heat of the day, Crispy. So Lane Beachley still involved in the progression of women's surfing.
She's amazing. Chairperson for Surfing Australia, but such an ambassador for so many great things. And Lane still surfs well, putting back and mentoring, and
she's a really good tennis player too, isn't she? I believe
she's good, great at everything. Yeah, she jumps on the tramp at work and she does a backflip. You know, where others have to pay to get lessons.
Yeah, she's an absolute all-round athlete. I know, growing up as a young female surfer here in Australia, she was one of those people that I looked up to. And when her book came out, and we really got an insight into the kind of struggles and maybe the challenges that she had to overcome just to surf, let alone compete at this level, and then also clock up 7 world titles and however many, you know, other Australian titles she has under her belt. She's unbelievable with her competitiveness. And I feel like they used to call her back in the day, before social media, they called her the queen of self-promotion because she was so good. She had to chase down sponsorships to get on tour. So imagine that kind of tenacity now. You pretty much insta-famous if you were at that level of motivation and kind of
towing in on Big Hawaii. Towing in on Big Hawaii, winning comps.
Absolutely.
Charging barrels.
She got towed in down near your ways at ours around
One of the
here,
first she was the first female to get deeply barreled at Solander.
So she's got obviously connections here with the local Maroubra surfing community as well, and just such an amazing person. Blazed the path there for
inspiring
Australian
so many.
surfers,
And think of Steph, think of Sally Fitzgibbons, and love their smile, love their style. And like yourself.
Oh yeah. I'm happy to watch on Smiling from in the booth here with heat number 16. It's 5 minutes 30 seconds. Alex out in the lead, Josh in second, Ash, he's chasing just a 3.70, and the Brazilian Lucas Paes a 4.65. We'll see them progress through here to round number 3 of the Carve Pro. We are moving into a fun Friday filled day of surfing action tomorrow, Crispy, and then Saturday's finals.
Yeah, the pointy end's exciting. And what is exciting for the Carve Pro QS 1000, the next 2 days we've got Spin the Wheel. Win prizes, win sunnies, win towels, win hats, win Carve accessories.
On the beach.
Come down. You can't win it watch online if you're at work or can't get here, but we'll fly here. Get down here if you're listening. Tell your friends and family. Get down to Maroubra day 3 and 4 as we see the Brazilian looking to either do a 2-step, get there in one wave, or chip away.
True. So there's 2 tactics as we see. Ash, nice big hook. Time that little attack quite well and getting hung up on the second turn. There he was chasing the score. Crispy, as is the Brazilian. Like you said, 2 ways to think about going into the last 4 minutes of the heat. He needs either 1 big blow or 2 really nice looking waves. We'll have a look at the replay here. This is Lucas' wave. Throws a bit of tail on that first turn, up and over the foam.
Yeah, squeeze 2 turns. I like that first turn. Really drifted power. Really low, like you said. And then here's heat leader just stamping his way through, looking for day 3 when the waves get bigger. And that was, I reckon, the best one for Alex. Really jammed it in, got upside down, nice body torque.
And nice bit of spray out of the back of that little attack there. Let's have a look. Score through for Ash. I think it was the 3.25 or the 2.85. He's putting himself into 3rd position. Now he's chasing 3.31. Lucas Paes posting up to 2.6. He now needs a 3.95. We're getting towards the last few minutes of this heat. Priority is with Josh Pepper in the white, chasing him very closely, blue and green, just needing mid to high 3s there. They're going to want another opportunity. They're in 2nd and 4th priority. You can see the Brazilian staying very busy under priority. Look at that. Tiny little shory, perhaps looking for a little ramp section. You can definitely post that on his forehand attack. 3.95 required to move him through to Friday for the Carve Pro.
Yeah, well, he's chipped away, like we said. that last wave. Gives him a 2.6. He's locked in now, requiring a 3.95, and Alex got his best score. That one turn really major points, a 3.25. So he's within striking distance for a day 3 berth. Whereas Alex McGuffin really dominating this heat, really sharp turning, good wave selection, and the youngster Team Rider looking for our 4th Team Rider to survive and make it into day 3.
Well, so far so good. He's looking pretty good at the moment. We've seen some pretty big lulls here this afternoon in between the sets. There is only 2 minutes left on the clock, and he is in second. Red, I'm sure, feeling pretty happy about holding the lead for pretty much most of this last heat of the day. So Ash and Lucas both going to be trying to hunt down those scores. Josh, I'm sure, wanting to keep blue and green off anything that rolls on through here in the last minute and a half of the heat.
Well, you're going to see the Brazilian just swoop onto anything, stay away from the pack as they make their choice. And here's your heat leader. 90 seconds remaining, really closing his card and moving into day 3. And he's feeling strong, looking strong.
Yeah, he does look really good. As we see, Josh, there we go, keeping blue off this steeper looking section here. He's got one nice forehand slash in. Oh, look at that, laying a little bit of rail into the face there, and third turn, really nice combination. Biggest turn I feel like we may have seen this whole heat. He did only need a 5.05 to go up into the lead. I think it's going to be in that conversation there. Have a look at the replay of Red's first crispy. That first turn was nice. Second turn, there wasn't a lot on offer there for him, so he has to just put it up over the foam, and he pulls out before the shorey. Here we go. White, Josh Pepper's first nice slash. Well timed. He generates a bit of speed through this section. There, lays rail way into his forehand and closes it out with another nice tap. I think it's going to be up there in the conversation.
I think it's going to extend second, if not take the lead. And look at Scramble Station. And this is Alex really getting into this one. So last-ditch effort for him. Well, he knows he's got to go vertical, and that is where it goes back to the start with surfing as an athlete. You got to get busy quick and not put yourself in those positions and go vertical, because 20 seconds remaining. Still opportunity for green, but, well, the time's your enemy with that one.
Yeah, as we see 10 seconds on the clock, I believe we might be waiting for a wave to drop for White. It's looking like Red and White moving on through this last heat of the day unofficially. Few more scores to lock in there at the end of that heat there, Crispy. It was the wrap-up of the Carve Pro day number 2 QS 1000. Massive day of surfing all day here.
Yeah, day 2. Don't forget, 8 o'clock Australian Eastern Standard Time. Check it out, www.carve.com.au, and also download the WSL app or through surfingnewsouthwales.com.au. Catch your day 3, Jess.
We'll be here.
You.